And our instructor, Jean Lukitsch, will now start. Thank you, Jean.
Okay, great. Okay, let me know if you can't hear me or if you can't see anything, okay? Okay, I know some of you from my Tai Chi classes before. I think the best thing to ask is there anybody who has never done Tai Chi before? Okay, so some people, this is your first time. Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, usually I would be teaching Tai Chi. We would be starting standing up. We would do our warm-up exercises, and then we would start learning the form. But today we're going to start with sit-down exercises. Sorry, does anybody have any questions?
At long last.
What's that? Okay. Okay, so Tai Chi, everybody has seen Tai Chi, but Tai Chi is not just those beautiful flowing movements. Tai Chi is more how you use your body. When you learn to use the internal aspect of the Chinese system that we know as Tai Chi, everything that you do becomes Tai Chi. The movements that you've seen people do that they call Tai Chi actually come from fighting arts. They've been slowed down and softened, but they originally were combat, okay? But any kind of physical activity, just walking, working in your garden, doing your housework, anything can be Tai Chi as long as you learn to move like Tai Chi, okay? The first thing we're gonna do is think about from the top of your head to the base of the spine, okay? Pull up from the top of the head, sink down to the base of the spine. So we stretch in two directions. Yeah, we go up and tilt your chin down a little bit. You want the top of your head extending up, okay? And then check how you're sitting in the chair. You don't want to roll back in the chair, but pull yourself up. One of my teachers used to say, sit on the bones, don't sit on the flesh. Okay, so roll your pelvis, okay, so that the pelvis is naturally straight. Keeping your back straight, we're going to lean forward, feel the stretch in the lower back. And now come upright. And again, forward and upright. And forward, stretch the back. And upright. And once more, stretch forward. And come upright. Feel head, neck, and spine naturally straight. Okay, next we're going to work on the shoulders. Let's roll our shoulders back and down. Okay, roll the shoulders back, sink them down, let them stay down. Okay, bring the arms up. I'm not gonna lock my elbows. I'm gonna keep the elbows slightly bent. I'm going to extend to the fingertips. Okay, and now I'm going to draw circles. Circle backwards with the hands. Okay, change, palms facing out, and now let's open and close the arms. Give yourself a hug. We open and close. And again. And open, close. Open, close. open, close, open, close, open, close, and open, close. Okay, relax the shoulders down, bring the hands together, lace the fingers, and roll the wrists. My teacher always said, Tai Chi is circular in all aspects. All the movement in Tai Chi is based on circles. Circles can also describe the range of motion in our joints. If we want full range of motion, we should be able to do circles with the wrists. Okay, turn the palms out, stretch the wrists. Okay, and now we're going to do tiger claw. Okay, fingers like hooks. It's not closing into the palm, but just make hook shapes with the fingers. Think about a cat, digs in and pulls. Okay, claw and pull. And to the side, claw and pull in. This exercise is good if you have arthritis in your fingers, in your hands. Okay, and now shake out. Can you go faster? Faster. Shake it out. Okay, relax the arms down. Okay, we're going to do more circles. Bring the arms up. Turn the palms up. Circle your arm in. Extend out. And rotate the palm up. Okay, so now we're circling the elbow and circling the wrist. We circle in, extend out, circle in and extend, circle, extend, circle, good, looks good, extend, circle, and, okay, finish, and roll the shoulders back and down. Okay, so in addition to working the joints, the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder in circles, we're also stretching the joints. You want to feel as if the tendons, the ligaments are all getting stretched. One of the reasons we can do the full range of motion with our joints is that we're actually stretching out the joints, the ligaments that hold those joints together. Okay, so we're going to do an embrace ball exercise. Let's bring the arms up, extend to the fingertips, turn the palms up, stretch to the tips of the fingers on both hands. Okay, keep that extension, keep the stretch, roll the arms in. And now we relax the arms down into our embrace ball. Okay, this is the iconic circle of Tai Chi, the embrace ball circle. I want my wrists in front of my shoulders. I want my shoulders and elbows relaxed and down. Okay, so I'm not like this. I mean, I can do this, but it feels very uncomfortable. If I try to hold this for a long time, I'm gonna get very sore and very tired very fast. So relax as much as possible. Shoulders relax, elbows relax, hands relax. Really, all you have to do is think about keeping your wrist in front of your shoulder. Everything else can relax. Okay, we can open our circle. Let's expand from the center Expand the circle like a balloon blowing up. And empty the circle. Close in. And again, we open and close. And open, close. Sink the elbows. Sink the elbows means as if something heavy is laid on my elbow, the elbow goes down. Relax the hands, now sink the wrists, just like a seesaw. The wrist goes down, makes the fingers come up. Okay, so I went from this position to this position. Still a circle. Downward circle, palms facing out. This is my Tai Chi push. Relax the hands down until your wrists are as high as your waist, the palms facing the floor. And finish. Okay, does anybody have any questions about any of the movements that we've done? Okay, I don't know if I can hear.
No questions.
No questions, okay. Okay, so some of these movements we're going to come back to and we are going to use when we start doing some Tai Chi. Some are just stretching or joint turning, range of motion exercises, but some of them are actually parts of the movement. Okay, we're going to do an arm exercise now that is the first movement of our Tai Chi form, Tai Chi beginning. Okay, so we sit naturally straight, head, neck, and spine, shoulders relaxed and down. And now I bring my arms up until my wrists are in front of the shoulders. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Again, it's not perfectly straight. I'm not letting my shoulders come up. I sink, I extend, but I relax. Okay, now sink the elbows. Sink the wrists, fingers come up. Feel the palms pushing against the air. Relax down. Feel the fingertips touching the air. And finish. Okay, so that's our Tai Chi beginning movement. Let's do it again. On step 1, we bring the arms up. 2, sink the elbows. 3, sink the wrists. And 4, relax down. And finish. Okay, once more. So breathe in, lift the arms on 1. Breathe out, sink the elbows for 2. Breathe in, sink the wrists and push. 3 and 4, we relax down. And finish. So these are simple movements. Really, anybody can do them. But to put your mind into the movement, to feel everything that's going on, to try to relax, that's where it starts getting a little more challenging. But I always like to tell my students, anybody can be a Tai Chi master, okay? You just have to be willing to put the time in. That's all it is practice. That's what Kung Fu is all about. Kung Fu means you practice something over and over again until you just know it. You don't even have to think about it anymore. It's as natural as breathing, okay? I say it's simple, but to actually do that, of course, that does take some hard work. But anybody can do it. You just have to be willing to put the time in. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some more upper body exercises when we stand up. But right now what I'm gonna do is change the angle here, and I want to show you some foot exercises. Let's see how this works. Okay. So lift the heels and touch the toes, and then lift the toes and touch the heels. Yeah, so it's toe touch, heel touch, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and heel. Okay, next, roll out to the side, roll in, and roll out, roll in, roll out, roll in, out, and in, out, and in, and finish. Okay, now pick one foot and circle. Again, that full range of motion. Draw circles first in one direction, and now reverse. And other foot, circle. And reverse. Okay, now I'm going to stand up. I'm going to keep the camera on my feet. We're going to do a little bit of a walking exercise, but it's stationary walking, don't worry. I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to have one foot in front, the foot behind, the toe is turned out to the angle. Okay, I'm going to be shifting my weight back and forward. Okay, but I'm going to turn to the front. Okay, so one foot in front, one foot in back. The back foot is turned out. You have like a triangle shape between your feet, toe to toe, heel to heel. We call it a tripod. Okay, I'm going to shift my weight forward. Now, when you're walking and you shift your weight forward, you lift the back heel up off the floor. That pushes your back foot forward. That gives you the momentum that you can take a step, okay? We're not gonna take the step, we're just gonna shift weight back. Okay, in Tai Chi, this is called a sit step. The weight is on the back foot. We shift weight forward. The back heel comes up because we're pushing off the floor to get momentum. Sit step, weight back, weight forward, back heel comes up. Weight back, weight forward. Weight back, weight forward. Okay, so as I said, this is the way most people, when they're walking, they use their back foot to push off. That's where you get that power. Okay, but what happens if you don't want to continue moving forward? A lot of our Tai Chi footwork is designed to control momentum. Okay, if I'm walking along and I have to stop suddenly, okay, that's when I might lose my balance. If you learn how to sink down instead of throwing yourself forward, you're less likely to lose your balance. Okay, so now we're going to do the same exercise again, but we're going to do it as a Tai Chi exercise. Sit step, weight on the back. Bow step, weight on the front. Keep the back heel on the floor. So it's not like before when we were lifting the heel. Keep both feet flat on the floor. It's like you're pouring your weight back onto the back foot, then forward onto the front foot, but now keep a little weight in the back foot too. Without that push, I can only go so far. It's like I have an anchor. I try to go beyond the length of the anchor rope, it's not gonna work, okay? So the heel becomes my anchor. I sit step, I bow step. This is bow step, like a bow and arrow. The front leg is curved like a bow. The back heel touches the floor. Again, sit step, bow step, sit step, bow step. Okay, let's change. Left foot or other foot turns out, doesn't matter which foot's in front, step up. Okay, this is our normal walking exercise. Weight goes forward, back heel up. Shift weight back. Shift weight forward. Feel that pushing off. Sit step. Shift weight forward. Push off from the toes. And once more, sit step. Shift weight forward. Okay, let's do our Tai Chi weight shift now. So it feels a little bit different. You have to be a little more mindful. I shift weight forward, bow step, and my back heel touches down. Now I have a root. I'm like a statue on a pedestal. Instead of having momentum that carries me forward, I just sink down. I shift weight back, sit step, forward, back heel touches. Sit step, bow step, sink the root. Once more, sit step, bow step. Okay. And now one more lower body exercise. Step out so that your feet are as wide as your shoulders, toes to the front. Okay, we're going to bend the knees a little bit. And now come up, naturally straight. Okay, when you bend the knees, see if I can get a little more. Okay, when you bend the knees, think as if there's some weight at the base of your spine sinking down. And now to come up, imagine something is pulling on the top of your head. So I sink down to bend the knees. I extend up to straighten my legs. I'm not going to lock the knees. I'm going to keep the knees always at least a little bent. More bent, naturally straight. That's how my teacher would say. Knees are more bent. Knees are naturally straight. So when we do this sinking and lifting exercise in Tai Chi, coming back to the very first thing that we did, our first exercise, we're stretching up to the top of the head. We're sinking down to the base of the spine. Sinking down helps us keep our root. Extending up lets us feel the stretch and feel the connection to our center. Okay, so are there any questions about any of the exercises that we've done?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Let me come closer. Sorry. I don't know if I. Okay, let me see if I can hear. Any questions?
I had a question, Jean, about how this relates to balance, because I do have balance issues, but you're starting to answer it. You're starting to
Yes. Tai Chi is really famous for its ability to help people with balance issues. And
Right.
yeah, I think I'm a nurse, but I'm retired now, but my background is in gerontology nursing. And I think there's no secret. It's just that you learn to pay attention to what you're doing with your feet and where you're putting your feet. Things like that triangle shape. It's actually easier to balance with the triangle than it is to have the feet in the same line. Okay, when my feet are in the same line, it's like I'm walking a tightrope. Okay, when one foot turned out, now I have a base that's this wide,
Right.
a base that's that wide. So a lot of it's just really simple. stuff, learning to control your momentum. A lot of our footwork is designed to allow you to stop on a dime so that, you know, if you need to stop, you go down instead of forward. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
yeah, how far apart your feet are from each other, how to do the weight shifts so that you enhance stability. All these exercises are the things that are kind of hard to do in this sort of format, unfortunately. You do need more space and be able to walk around. But, you know, this is just a taste of what we could do. And I could certainly give you plenty of exercises that you could practice walking either outside or indoors where you have the space, just repetitive walking exercises that teach you to move in the Tai Chi way. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. But okay, one other thing I did want to think to mention. Balance is what Tai Chi is famous for, but there's a lot more to it than just the balance. The enhanced range of motion. Okay, the opening and closing of the circle is good for you know, expanding your lungs and improved respiratory function. It's really good for stress management. Certainly everybody needs that these days, right? So just learning to relax, learning to take a little vacation, a mini vacation, no matter what's going on in your life. I think that's one of the benefits right now of doing something like Tai Chi. And it's mentally stimulating too. You don't have to learn it as a martial art. But if you're interested, you can start learning what some of the techniques are for, and you can learn to do it with a sword. You can learn to do it with a fan as a weapon. There are a lot of, and you can learn to do, eventually we'll all be doing two-person exercises too, but not until there's a good vaccine and all that stuff. So anyhow, there's plenty of ways you can take this as far as you want to go with it. Okay, so I'm going to try doing some standing exercises now. First, we're going to be doing some more upper body exercises, so you're not going to need to see my feet. Let's see. I want to do some upper body exercises that involve using the waist. In Tai Chi, we call this part of the body the waist. Okay, there's an area right here just below your belly button. It's called the dantian, the red field, and that's what controls the movement in Tai Chi. This spot right here moves first. Everything expands out from there. Everything comes back and compresses in there. Okay, so we're going to be doing some waist exercises now. And the first one is just turning the waist side to side and let your arms follow. Swing up and down. So I swing to the lower back and to the shoulder. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit faster. Okay. And next, shoulders down, bring the arms up, wrists just a little bit higher than the shoulders. Okay, and like a bird flying wings, the arms go up and down, but keep your shoulders down. Don't let the shoulders come up. The shoulders stay down. Okay, and now another circle or coiling exercise. I circle the wrists, I circle the elbows, and the arms circle from front to back and around again. I'm gonna go a little bit faster. Okay. And we're gonna finish with the shoulder tapping again. Okay, let's circle the hips. And reverse. Okay, so naturally straight posture. I'm gonna do some stretching now. Bring the arms up. Okay, let me. Yeah. Shoulders stay down. Again, we're not letting the shoulders ride up. Push down with the shoulders, extend up with the hand. And relax. Okay, again, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, next one, I'm going to step out. Can't see my legs. Double shoulder width. My knees are more bent. Okay, like that. Okay, cross hands in front. It's called draw the bow, shoot the eagle. Breathe in, like you're drawing a bow and arrow. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And finish. Okay, feet under the shoulder. Shoulder width. And this one is single hand pushing up. Okay, so one hand pushes up, one hand pushes down. Breathe in. Breathe out. 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 And breathe in. Breathe out. And finish. Okay, these are just a selection of the basic training exercises that we do. What I'm going to do now is have you actually follow a little bit of Tai Chi movement. We're going to put some of these exercises and some of these feelings together, okay? And you'll see that Tai Chi isn't really about memorizing the movements. It's about remembering everything you're supposed to be feeling when you do those movements. Okay, so we're going to start. I start with my feet together. Okay, feet together. Now, some people have trouble balancing when their feet are close together. Okay, if you have trouble keeping your balance when your feet are that close, you can start with a couple inches, however much space lets you feel comfortable, okay? Because this isn't about making it difficult for you. It's about letting you relax into the movement. Okay, so the opening movement in our Tai Chi, we start with the right foot. This is my right foot. Most schools start with the left foot, but our version, we step out with the right foot. So I start by bending my knees, shifting the weight to the left foot. I step out with the right foot, toes to the front. The feet are shoulder width apart, under my shoulders. Okay, my knees are still bent. I can go from more bent to naturally straight. Bend the knees again. Okay, so that is how we open our Tai Chi form. That's called Wu Chi stance. Wu Chi is just the beginning, it's the beginning of Tai Chi. Wu Chi is before Tai Chi begins. Okay, so again, we're thinking about the top of the head to the base of the spine. I bend my knees and I feel my root. I sink down into the floor. My weight's on the left foot. I step out with the right foot and then I double weight. Half of my weight going down into each foot. Again, naturally straight posture. No slouching. Okay. Okay. And now, Tai Chi beginning. 1, my arms come up. My knees go from more bent to naturally straight. That all happens together. 1, 2, I sink the elbows. 3, I sink the wrists, palms push out. And 4, I relax my hands down, my knees bend, and I finish with my wrists waist high. My palms are facing the floor. And that is Tai Chi beginning. Okay, so what am I thinking about when I do this? I'm thinking about stretching. I'm thinking about my root. I'm thinking about breathing in and out. I'm thinking about lifting the chi or the energy and sinking the chi down. Okay, so again, from the beginning, 1, naturally straight. 2, bend the knees. 3, step out right. 4, double weight. Tai Chi beginning. 1, I lift up. 2, sink the elbows. 3, sink the wrists. 4, relax down and the knees bend. And finish. Okay, so what I like to think about when I'm doing that is as I bring my arms up and my knees straighten, I'm feeling an extension up to the top of my head. As I sink my elbows and sink my wrists, I feel my palms pushing against the air. So now I'm feeling my arms. When I relax down, I sink down into the soles of my feet, so I'm feeling my legs. By the time I finish Tai Chi beginning, my feeling is in the center of my body, it's in my arms, and it's in my legs. And now I'm ready to actually do some real Tai Chi. Okay, so any questions about the, let me sit down and see. Any questions about the Tai Chi movement? How does it feel?
Your arms in close to your body, or do you have them out a bit?
Okay, that's a good question. Different schools have different ways of handling these details. There are schools that do the opening movement like that. But our school, okay, my teacher's name is Bosim Mark. Mark is her family name, Sifu Mark. Her teacher was Fu Wing Fei. Fu was his family name, Grandmaster Fu. Okay, the Fu family is very famous for their style of Tai Chi. What we do in the Fu system is when we bring the arms up, we do not close in. We continue to stretch even when we're bending the elbow and the wrist. So you have to, basically it's like that exercise where I'm saying you're extending, but you're not locking the joints. You're doing the whole movement with the hands far away from you, but you're also going from naturally straight to circular. So you have to stretch to keep the hands out there. So this is more of a stretching exercise as opposed to something like this, which is more of a, I guess, a flow exercise. My teacher would say too much movement, but don't tell people I said that. Everybody does it a little bit differently, and everybody likes their version the best. It tells other people you're doing it wrong. Okay, so you can try experimenting with a different kind of feeling when the arms come in and then go out again versus keeping the hands out there in the same plane as you do that whole sequence. And to me, it feels like I'm working a little bit harder, stretching, okay? And then when you start going to the martial arts side of it, okay, if I close in too much, somebody might push me and knock me over. If I'm working with them out here, they can close my circle a little bit, but I still have some safe space there. So everybody explains why they do what they do a little bit differently, but a lot of the fun is in researching and teasing out some of these reasons. Why do you do this? Why do this version versus that version? If you watch Tai Chi on YouTube or some of the other resources available online, you'll see so many variations in these movements. And I think it's hard for beginners because you just want to pick one and tell me how to do that one. But the truth is, I like to say it's like learning to be a musician. You know, everybody starts out learning the instrument, learning to read the notes the same way. But as the years go by, everybody's music ends up sounding a little bit differently. They individualize it. You know, everything that they experience gets turned into that music. Same thing with your Tai Chi. Everything you feel, everything you see, everything you experience becomes part of your practice. Okay, so any other questions? Okay, I'm going to try giving you a little bit more advanced Tai Chi movement. We were talking about the footwork. Okay, so let's try some of that footwork a little bit. And I don't expect, you know, you might be able to remember some of the other stuff that we did, but this, I don't expect you to necessarily remember. You might need to see it a few times. Okay, first, footwork. We're going to start with our preparation step. Okay, I shift my weight to the left foot. I'm going to lift my right heel and turn the toe out. Okay, and now I'm going to move that right foot in just a little bit closer to the left foot. And this is called a T step, like the letter T. It's a transition step. Okay, I'm getting ready to step out to the side with the right foot. I want to open my hip. What does that mean? I want to step to the back so that my feet aren't on the same line, and then step out with the right foot. Okay, that stepping to the back takes a little bit of practice. Okay, and now I shift weight to the right foot. This is a bow step. A bow step can have the back foot turned in. Remember when we did this exercise? Okay, sit step, bow step. Or a bow step can be open. Bow step just means the weight is on the front leg. Okay, so this exercise goes from Wuchi stance, preparation stance, to a right bow step. First we do T step, and then we step right and shift weight, bow step. Okay, again, preparation step, T step, bow step. Okay. Okay, and now let me show you what are you doing with your arms when you do that. Okay, you may have realized when we did the preparation step, this is continuing on from the end of Tai Chi beginning. So our arms are like this. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is lift my left hand up, move the right hand under as I shift weight to the left and T-step right. Okay, this is an embrace ball. Remember I said before, this is our Tai Chi embrace ball. This is a horizontal embrace ball. When one arm is up, one arm is down. Vertical embrace ball, you can see the circle that's implied there. It's like I'm holding a globe. Okay, I step out with the right foot. I shift weight, my left hand goes down, my right hand blocks up. Okay, so again, my feet are in preparation step, knees are bent. I've just finished Tai Chi beginning. This is called grasp the bird's tail. 1, I embrace ball, T-step. 2, I step out, and 3, I shift weight, left hand down, right hand up. This is called a block. We're blocking with the right hand. Okay. Knees are bent. End of Tai Chi beginning, and grasp the bird's tail. 1, 2, 3. Okay, just follow. 4. Shift weight to the left foot. 5. Okay, that's just a little preview of what comes next. Okay, I'm going to try doing it all the way from the beginning. Where are we on time? Okay, I'm going to have to back up a little bit so you can see. I hope you can see both hands and feet together, and we'll go through that whole sequence from the very beginning. Okay, preparation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tai Chi beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grasp the bird's tail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if I continue, I would do 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and finish. So those are the opening movements of our short Tai Chi form. Do you want to try following it again? Do it again? Okay. And again, this is just to see how all these bits and pieces fit together. So preparation 1, 2, 3, 4, Tai Chi beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, and grasp the bird's tail, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so think about on 10, I'm pushing somebody away from me. It's very easy to lift that back foot up because that makes it feel like I'm getting a much stronger push. But in Tai Chi, that's very dangerous. If my back foot comes up, it means my partner can pull me off balance because I've lost my root. So that's how you start putting all these little exercises have something to teach you about when you do the full sequence. And you practice the exercises just to tease out those techniques, and then you can apply them. I studied with a few other Tai Chi teachers before I came to Boston to study with Master Mark. And in the past, most people just taught the Tai Chi form. She was the one that really broke it down almost scientifically and taught us all these background exercises and training procedures that just made everything really, really clear. But it's also very, very deep, very deep. There's always a lot going on in your Tai Chi. What you see on the surface is just, that's just the tip of the iceberg. But obviously I'm addicted to it. I've been doing it now for almost 50 years and I really love it. So that's kind of my obsession. I'll be happy to pass it on to you if you're interested. So I think do we have the extra 15 minutes, or was that for discussion, or? Oh, wait, I'm not hearing.
The 15 minutes is to give people time for questions, which you've been doing.
Okay.
And then just for me to set up how to, you were going to talk a little bit about if people want to continue with Tai Chi or learn more. And then I'm also going to talk about the next session.
Okay, yeah. Again, as I said, this is a little bit of an adaptation of the way I usually teach, which would have a lot more, use more space, a lot more walking. But it actually wasn't as difficult as I thought in terms of changing the distance, getting the close-ups, and getting, at least for me, it didn't feel more difficult. I don't know if it was hard for you to follow when I was changing the perspective. Okay. And you can see how when you start putting the movements together, you really are kind of walking from one side of the room to the other as you go through these movements. So space limitations might be a consideration, but we were talking earlier about how I was saying that, if you can practice outside, especially with everything that's going on now, if you have a park or something where you can go and do this, or even a backyard, I just find that's really helped keep me sane these days is, not just exercising, but also going out, being in the fresh air, being around the trees and everything. So I would encourage people, you know, if you want to keep it going, even if we do our classes on Zoom, I was even saying if people live near each other and there's a park, maybe you could meet and socially distance and practice together. Because I do feel like that social part of Tai Chi is very important too. So.
One thing I noticed, Jean, is having difficulty, and I have the same problem in my dance instruction, translating because your left is my right. You know.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And I
That's,
don't, in person, do you turn your back or do you do it facing the student?
I've done different ways. We've been lucky enough in the past, we were in a dance studio at Lesley University and they had mirrors. And mirrors are great because anybody can face the same way and I can see what people are doing. But most of the places that I'm teaching, well, especially now because I'm doing some outside classes in my neighborhood, so we do not have mirrors. I can turn around and be a mirror image, but some people get confused when you're the mirror image. We can all face the same direction, but then you can't necessarily see what I'm doing in front. I think a combination, you know, and don't worry if you can't see everything, if you can't remember everything at the very beginning. This is really something that you just add a little detail, a little bit more to it each time you see it. And so it can be frustrating at the beginning because you feel like you don't have very much. But like my teacher likes to say, you're building a foundation. If the foundation isn't good, the whole building falls down. So you need a good solid foundation. And that's what all these exercises are. Just holding your embrace bowl in your Wu Chi stance. This is one of Tai Chi's signature exercises. If you can hold this for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I've known people that have learned to do it for an hour, but they tend to be fanatics. But this just, it builds up your strength and you learn to relax. And it turns into more stability when you start when you start doing the whole form.
Thank you.
So, hi. Okay, so
Can I ask you something about knees?
knees.
Yeah. I had knee replacement on one side, and the other side is overworking, shall we say. I find balance, especially this kind where you're holding a position, kind of difficult. Would Tai Chi help or hinder that situation?
Tai Chi is very adaptable. Again, there's so many different ways of practicing it. If something that I'm doing doesn't feel comfortable for you, then just let me know and I'll give you an alternative to it. But I will say that I have Tai Chi buddies who have had knee replacements and hip replacements and were able to come back and practice and get everything back. And again, there's a lot I didn't talk about today in terms of the alignment of the lower body. One of the things that you want to do is make sure that you don't have, we call this the knee beyond the toe. Okay. Always the knee should be back further than the toe. And personally, I prefer to have the lower leg perpendicular to the floor, so not really an angle at all. Although I don't always do that in my movement. That is what I feel is the safest. I wear some knee support, just like ACE wraps, because I have arthritis in my knees, and I've had some problems with my knees in the past. But I will say that, you know, with just a little bit of, you know, taking care, a little bit of extra support, and I can do pretty much everything I need to do. Some of the more advanced techniques where you're doing like the turns, the spirals in and out, those you have to be careful that, you know, your knee doesn't move and your foot stays stationary. Everything has to move together. And a lot of this is just the mindfulness that you're putting into every part of your body. making sure that it works together. So I think as long as you keep the exercise gentle, I can check with one of my buddies is a physical therapist, and I've taught physical therapists, and they've pretty much signed off on Tai Chi exercises as being pretty reliably good for you, and you're not likely to hurt yourself. Of course, again, you can always overdo it. You can always space out and do something that's gonna, for me, it's some of the outward twists and turns in our advanced forms. But as long as you pay attention, you stay away from the advanced stuff for a while. But I will say, if anybody wants to learn Tai Chi sword, I'd be happy to do that. I've been teaching some of the local people here, and if you'd like to see some Tai Chi sword, then maybe the next time we'll do a little bit of that. So, and like I said, there's a lot of different things you can do with Tai Chi to keep it interesting. It can be solo, it can be partner, it can be weapons. It can be more dance-like, it can be more combat-like, it can be more meditative.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Just how do we follow through if we're interested in more?
I guess we would talk to Kathy about, were you thinking of doing a regular Zoom series?
Well, I think you and I should talk about that and see if it's possible now that you've tried it out once. Jean,
Yeah.
and possibly.
So do I.
We'll, so Janice is in.
Yeah.
So we should talk about that. I think that after this class, when we see what the interest is, we'll see about the possibility of continuing to work with Jean, or if that's not practicable for Jean, some other alternatives. But before we're all done, my goal is to have everybody pointed in some direction that might work for them before we're done with the series.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 And I mean, again, anybody that's interested in Tai Chi, well, I'm going to hope that this works out. But if it doesn't work out for you, then there should be options around. I was saying all the Tai Chi teachers I know are now doing online classes. They're doing outdoor classes. Everybody's trying to keep it going. The winter might be a little tough, but if you live near a park, especially a big park, you're likely to see people practicing there. Feel free to, I would say ask people about their Tai Chi if you see them practicing. Some people don't like to be disturbed, but you can wait until they're done with their form before you ask them. But yeah, I just find it, it's so valuable in so many ways. It's something that's intellectually stimulating, but it's also an exercise. So, you have, a lot of food for thought, but at the same time, you're out there doing things that are good for your body too.
Right. Are there any other questions? If so, unmute yourself and speak. All right, I think we've gotten to them for now then. So I want to once again thank Jean for doing this. We pushed her a little bit to try this thing, and I think it worked very beautifully. Thank you so much, Jean.
Yeah, thanks for joining, and I hope you all got whatever you were looking for, or at least got some ideas of how to continue on your search for kung fu, real kung fu.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We will all reconvene. I hope all of us will reconvene a week from today when John Mercury Dooley will be teaching a session of meditation. I will be speaking to Jean between then and now. You can expect some more emails from me. Are there any questions right now about the whole series?
Okay, Kathy, how are you going to be managing the food thing?
Once I have, we're going to be having one conversation with one of the two cooking people on Monday, and once she identifies for me what she's doing and how, Then for those folks who are in Cambridge, I will be setting up I'm not, the real answer is I'm not 100% certain yet, but I'm hoping to use a mix of volunteers and so forth to get supplies distributed out to you. And for folks who need to pay the $12 fee, I'll also be getting in touch with you about that. So there'll be emails about that. And we may do 2 sessions, and it's not clear to me if we're going to have food supplies for both sessions. One session may be mostly just watching it happen. So we'll see. I'm still adapting from the original plan, which was in person, to this online version. So we'll work it out.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, in that case, I want to thank all of you for coming. And I think all of you know how to reach me, and I will also be helping to put people in touch with Jean if we think about a path forward with Jean. And everybody have a good rest of the afternoon, the little bit of light that's left.
And happy Thanksgiving.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Everybody.
Good wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jean, and thank you.
Jean.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh.
everyone.